Barbra Streisand, the unparalleled diva whose voice has defined generations and whose filmography brims with timeless triumphs, has never shied away from speaking her truth, even when it ruffles feathers in Tinseltown. In a revelation that sent ripples through Hollywood's corridors of power, the 82-year-old legend recently laid bare a long-simmering grievance from her time in the Meet the Fockers franchise. She was underpaid compared to her male co-stars. The confession, delivered with her signature blend of candor and class, has reignited debates on gender equity in an industry still grappling with its past sins. But Streisand, ever the architect of her own narrative, has swiftly clarified her stance, underscoring priorities that extend far beyond any sequel's siren call. The saga traces back to the mid-2000s, when Streisand reprised her role as the eccentric, overbearing mother-in-law in Meet the Fockers, 2004, and its follow-up Little Fockers, 2010. These Ben Stiller-Robert De Niro comedies, which grossed hundreds of millions worldwide, cemented Streisand's comedic chops alongside her dramatic prowess. Yet, behind the laughter, a disparity festered. "They'd have to pay me a lot of money because I didn't get paid what the other people got paid, and so I'm pissed off," she stated bluntly in a recent interview, her words cutting like a Shoten's crescendo. It was an era, she contextualized, when women's salaries lagged woefully behind men's, a systemic injustice that Streisand, as a trailblazing producer and performer, had long fought against. Her frustration isn't isolated. It's a chapter in a larger ledger of inequity Streisand has confronted head-on. From her groundbreaking directorial debut with Yentl, to her battles for creative control in recording studios, she's been a feminist force majeure. This Fockers admission echoes similar outcries from contemporaries like Meryl Streep and Diane Keaton, who've peeled back the curtain on pay gaps that persisted well into the 21st century. Streisand's candor serves as both personal catharsis and collective call to action, reminding us that even icons endured slights in silence, or not so silently in her case. Enter Ron Meyer, then head of Universal Pictures, whose gesture of goodwill offered a sliver of redemption. The head of Universal was Ron Meyer, and he actually sent me a bonus check. It was very sweet, Streisand recalled, her tone softening with appreciation. Meyer's move, though modest in the grand scheme, acknowledged the oversight, a rare corporate olive branch in an industry notorious for its opacity around compensation. It's a detail that humanizes the machinery of movie making, showing how individual decency can temper systemic flaws. For Streisand, it was enough to temper her ire but not to lure her back. Fast forward to today, and whispers of a fourth Fockers installment have producers in a tizzy. Robert De Niro and Ben Stiller, the franchise's comedic anchors, are reportedly anxious about its viability without Streisand's zany spark. Insiders fret over flop potential, citing audience fatigue and the challenge of recapturing the original's chaotic charm. Producers believe they can lasso her in for a last-minute cameo, sources confide, painting a picture of frantic negotiations and nostalgic pitches. The added enticement? A chance to share the screen with Ariana Grande, the pop sensation stepping into a fresh role, her star power a potential box office booster. Yet, Streisand's response is a masterclass in boundary setting. But Streisand has made it clear she has other priorities, those close to her emphasize, a declaration that resonates like the final note of The Way We Were. At 82, with a shelf of awards and a catalog of classics, her focus has shifted from spotlights to soul-nourishing pursuits. Philanthropy tops the list. Her Women's Heart Alliance continues to fund research and awareness for cardiovascular health, a cause born from personal loss. Environmental advocacy, another passion, sees her championing sustainable practices through the Barbra Streisand Foundation, which has poured millions into land preservation and animal welfare. Creative endeavors remain, but on her terms. Streisand's recent memoir, My Name is Barbra, a sprawling 1,000-page opus, delved into her life's tapestry with unflinching honesty, earning critical acclaim and bestseller status. It's a testament to her priority: legacy over limelight, reflection over repetition. Reprising a role that once undervalued her feels like regression, a step backward in a career defined by bold forwards. Friends describe her days now as filled with quiet joys, tending her Malibu gardens, composing at her piano, or hosting intimate dinners with a rotating cast of artists and activists. She's at peace with choosing depth over dazzle, one confidant shares. This pivot isn't without precedent in Streisand's oeuvre. She's turned down countless revivals, from Broadway encores to film franchises, prioritizing projects that ignite her intellectually and emotionally. The Fockers team, undeterred, dangles the Grande collaboration as catnip, imagining Streisand's deadpan delivery clashing gloriously with Ariana's bubbly vigor. But Streisand, wise to the game's machinations, sees through the ploy. Her priorities encompass mentorship too. She's quietly advised younger stars on navigating fame's pitfalls, drawing from her own battles with typecasting and sexism. The Underpaid Remark, shocking in its directness, has broader reverberations. It spotlights ongoing pay equity fights, with recent strikes underscoring Hollywood's slow march toward fairness. Streisand's story galvanizes advocates, proving that speaking out, even decades later, amplifies change. Producers' worries about a Fockers flop without her underscore her irreplaceable essence. Not just star power but the alchemy of wit and wisdom she brings. In declining the cameo, Streisand isn't closing doors, she's curating her chapter. Her life now is a symphony of selected notes. Family time with husband James Brolin, whose enduring partnership mirrors her romantic ballads. Travel to far-flung locales for inspiration. And subtle activism, like funding climate initiatives amid wildfire's threat. "I've earned the right to say no," she once quipped, a mantra guiding her golden years.